In the Cage MMA, T-Mac now joined by rising prospect Anthony Sharkbait Gutierrez. Anthony, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Got a lot to talk to you about. First off, I want to talk to you about 2011. You had a great year. Tell us a little bit about, personally, how you felt about 2011 as far as your fight career.
Yeah, 2011 was awesome. I made my pro debut at the very end of January on the first HDNet Titan show. It was a cool situation. I was actually in Sacramento training, and I was planning on fighting an amateur fight and got a phone call, and they're like, hey, do you want to fight on HDNet? Your pro debut. The opponent was good for my pro debut, so I decided, I'm training with the best. I feel good right now. I'll take that fight. Took the fight. I won TKO in the first round, and Titan liked what they saw. I loved the show, so I fought 4 more times with Titan. In 2011, I was able to go 4-0, so that was really good. A lot of hard work's paying off. People forget that I've had 20 amateur fights, and I've been at this sport since I was 15, going on 16 years old. So it feels good that you start something that long ago, and I really haven't taken a day off since I started training, just because I love this sport. It's fun, keeps me sane mentally.
Right.
So I've been doing the sport for a long time. All the hard work's paying off. It's really the first time in my life that I've set goals. I've gone after something and starting to see things pay off and accomplish things. So 2012 should be good. 11 was awesome.
So in 2012, you're going to be fighting your first fight for Kansas City Fighting Alliance. It's in Independence, Missouri, at the Truman Memorial Building. Tell us a little bit about the event, who you're fighting, kind of just the whole card in itself.
Yep. February 10th isn't an HDNet or a Titan show. It's actually a pretty cool situation how it worked out. I ended up getting, Titan offered me a 4-fight, 16-month exclusive contract with them, which, is probably the coolest news I've even ever received.
Right.
Being really proud about that accomplishment. So, we set up the 4-fight exclusive deal. I'm guaranteed 4 fights on HDNet, which is awesome, but that doesn't start until March 2nd. So my manager, Joe Wooster, my manager is my only manager, Joe Wooster. He's throwing his very first MMA show February 10th. It's called Kansas City Fighting Alliance. And so, I told Joe, I'm a decent draw in Kansas City, and I can help him sell tickets. So since it's your first show, I'll go ahead and main event it for you. We can help you sell some tickets. He'll profit off it. He's done so much for me, so he'll be able to profit. We've worked a deal on the side, so I can get a little cheese on the back door, and it'll be good. And then once I get that out of the way, Joe can start his own business from there or whatever. Then I'm locked in with Titan, and I'll be exclusive with Titan for the next 16 months. And I'm looking forward to my future with Titan for sure.
Well, tell us a little bit about working with Titan. How have you felt? You said you've been saying really a lot of nice things about them, but what do you expect from them in this contract that you have? You said it's 4 fights. What are you expecting out of Titan, and then what are you expecting out of yourself with fighting for exclusively with Titan?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Titan just basically, you could call it, got Hollywood. They went Hollywood and got the HDNet deal, but before they ever got the huge explosion of the HDNet deal, Titan's been around for years. Joe Kelly's been throwing, he's pretty much the godfather of Kansas City as far as throwing, MMA and boxing shows. And so I fought probably 10 amateur fights with Joe Kelly on his Titan shows. And then, they get the HDNet deal. Joe Kelly calls me basically, hey man, you fought a lot for me. I like what you do. Let's get you on TV. So that right there is just like, man, I can tell he's, Titan's looking out for me. They care about my future. They see something that they can build. So it's a really good relationship. It kind of takes both parties for everything to work out good. They gave me a 4-fight exclusive deal, TV spots guaranteed. Each fight, the pay is on contract, so I already know what I'll make each fight in the future. So that way, if I want to take a loan out, if I want to go to TV from Circuit City, I know the money I have out there. So they're making me feel good with security of money, and it feels good to basically have, usually promoters and MMA, they're not snakes, they're not, but people are always looking to get their dollar. Yeah, exactly, just make their money. So with Titan, it's just I know this is a team, it's an organization that I can fight for, and I love it. Everything's great. So.
Now you got a fight on March 2nd, but we just talked about you had a fight on February 10th. How do you prepare when you know you have 2 fights coming up, not just one fight you're preparing for one opponent? You actually have 2 that you know of. How does that change your preparation as far as having one fight?
Basically, I'm always training in the gym, and I'm always in shape. So, if I needed to fight this weekend, I could for sure fight. As far as February 10th goes, my opponent, he's 2-3. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to overlook him. That doesn't mean that I can't get caught with a punch. The facts are he's a guy that's had 5 professional MMA bouts, so he's dangerous. He knows how to fight. So I just need to go in there. do my game. I should, it sounds arrogant, but I should finish him easily, finish him quick. And then March 2nd will be a tough fight. It's a guy who's 4-0. He's an undefeated prospect like me. He's a really good Muay Thai guy. He's got jiu-jitsu off his back. So that's going to be a really good fight. So basically the way I look at it is I'm scrapping February 10th and I'm scrapping March 2nd. I'm going to be in the gym every day until, both of those dates are over. So February 10th, if I wasn't fighting in Kansas City, I probably would have been at home, doing some P90X on a Saturday or friggin' just chilling, so I might as well just get in the cage fight, get warmed up, and then be ready for March 2nd.
So as far as your training, this is your home at Grindhouse, that's where we're at right now. But you mentioned how you go out to Sacramento and you train with Team Alpha Male. Can we expect that more in the future, or was that kind of just a one-off thing?
Yeah, for sure. The cool thing about Sacramento is, I love the training here and I love Grindhouse, and I get just as good training as I do out there. But the cool thing about going to Sacramento is I get to leave Lee Summit for a little while. I'll go out there for 3 months. Everyone loves
Change
Cali.
scenery.
Yeah. It's a different group of guys. I've made really, really close friends out there. So it's basically just like a change of scenery. We train all day, fight all day, no distractions. Here, I got some females, hitting up the cell phone. You got buddies always wanting to go out. I got to tell people, no, I don't want to go to the bars.
Right.
No, I don't want to blah, blah, blah. So in Sacramento, I basically isolate myself from everything. But, I'm just really fortunate. I have an amazing gym here in Kansas City. I have an amazing group of guys in Sacramento that welcome me with open arms. I have an amazing promotion that just signed me an exclusive deal. So, things are good right now, and I'm just, got to make sure and stay humble and be fortunate for everything that, it's been given to me. So.
Now, as far as your training, what would you say as far as a game plan? Are you going to continue the same game plan as far as keeping it stand up? You're known more as a jiu-jitsu guy, but with that wrestling training, can we see more wrestling, double leg takedowns, things like that in fights to come?
Yeah, usually I always have a game plan and kind of vision the way fights go, but usually I just end up standing up, going with guys, and then they usually end up taking me down, and my wrestling in the past hasn't been that great, so guys have been able to get the takedown. That's why my jiu-jitsu has always shined over my stand-up, because the wrestlers will get me down and I'm forced to use jiu-jitsu, and I've been able to come out on top of the jiu-jitsu part. So I'm anxious. This guy, he claims to be a Muay Thai guy, claims to be a stand-up guy for March 2nd.
March 2nd.
Brandon Pavan-Steele, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I think he'll stand with me. It should be really exciting. We're both about the same height, same style. So honestly, I'm down to fight him wherever the fight goes. If if I get in trouble on the feet, I've been working my wrestling for the last 8 months hard. So if he gets me in trouble on the feet, you can see a double leg, single leg, lots of takedowns, for sure.
And so before we finish up this interview, is there any sponsors, any training partners, friends, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to thank Grindhouse MMA, Brian Davidson, James Krause. I've been with Brian and James since, remember when I was saying 15, 16 years old, I've been with those guys. Joe Wooster. Some people have fallen off the bandwagon since and not stayed loyal, but guys like Joe Wooster, Brian Davidson, James Krause, we've been together since day one. We're still together, and we all have goals. We're all going to get to the top together, and it's going to stay that way. Shout out to posterboyclothing.com. They got $15 t-shirts. I know everyone's balling on a budget, so hit it up. Flatline, Google flatlinefighting.com. Go to their website, and middleeasy.com. YouTube, Lazy the Savage, for some crazy highlight videos.
All right. Well, for Sharkbait, I am T-Mac. This is In the Cage MMA, and we'll talk with you soon.
Twitter, Sharkbait816.
There you go.